Hi, welcome back to my channel. Nikki here. I'm coming in with a response to the last video that I just uploaded, that I recorded about a week ago, stating that New Earth is here. And I wanted to elaborate and answer some questions surrounding that, because I can almost hear all of the questions and the responses flooding in. So the first is that New Earth is a frequency, it's a vibration, it's a holding almost like a New Earth consciousness in itself. And it can exist within us, within our human selves, and it can exist within the Earth. The Earth is moving through an ascension process. So she's shifting frequency, and we are feeling that as we move through, as she moves through her shift. We are not all fully, as a collective, aligned with the New Earth energies or frequencies. However, that New Earth frequency exists and is available to us. And that was my point in the last video. So what we're seeing and feeling and navigating at the moment is almost these parallel timelines, this sense of differing realities. So one minute we can feel like we're riding high, full of joy, love, connection, possibility, excitement. And the next we can be pulled into a different timeline, let's say. So it is up to us as individuals with free will and choice to make that choice point almost in each and every moment, in each and every now, feeling into where am I placing my focus and allowing yourselves to feel. We have to move through this. But be aware that what you focus on, you draw more of towards yourself. You're putting your consciousness, your energy into that reality. And so now feels a really appropriate time for me to share how I got to shift my frequency and started to experience heaven on Mother Earth, to live it, to create it, to be a co-creator and a guardian and a steward of the New Earth. So it comes from lots of recognition, awareness, raising consciousness, so raising awareness of our attention, our thoughts, our belief programs in particular. And we have an opportunity. I work as a healer. I qualified as a psychologist, and now I practice as an energy healer and as an intuitive counselor. So I, in 2019, had published through Findhorn Press and Inner Traditions, this book, Working with Chakras for Belief Change. And if you're up for working on yourself, because that is the key, it's personal responsibility, it's personal empowerment. It's not having someone do this to you or for you, but it's you moving through your own journey. So this came through as a self-help technique. Yes, I have got practitioner training and practitioners can lead you through the process. But this came through as a self-help technique to help people to move through that transition, which is moving from the third dimensional fear control-based reality into the fifth dimensional frequencies of unconditional love. Love-based reality, moving in from the I and the service to self, to the we, and being part of a collective whole, knowing that we're each an aspect of source, of divine consciousness, of the one. So I am going to share with you some of the hows and the whys of the Healing Insight method in this video. It was gifted to me as a method after I channeled many beliefs. I thought I was creating, excuse my throat. I thought I was creating a card deck, which I did, and channeled many beliefs through the chakras. And then I got gifted a method so that we could bring ourselves into vibrational alignment with these beliefs. And the method has a deep dive into being able to identify through muscle testing the belief that will support you in your now moment, moving through whatever issue you're moving through. So you can ask your system. You are part of divine consciousness, part of universal intelligence. And these cards are drawn from a part of universal intelligence. And so you can muscle test yourself, and your high self will lead you to a card. And if you, I wish people could jump in now and share their experiences, because it's often a, oh my goodness, I can't believe, that card that came up, or this belief program that came up. Because often it's perfect. It's the one that we need, because it's your divine intelligence letting you know the direction in which to focus on that will take you away from the attachment to the old. The reason that we move from a limiting belief, which is part of the old system matrix, into an empowering, affirming, liberating. So we're stepping into our possibility, into our potential, into love frequency, into cohesion, into everything that is positively polarized as opposed to negatively polarized. The reason we make that transition and that shift, or how we make that transition and shift, is to be able to unwind from those old programs and belief systems. And the way in which we do that is through this change process. I'm going to talk through that first, I think. So if any of you have practiced Qigong or Tai Chi, you'll know the space that exists that is called Wu Chi. So it's empty energy. So it's where we stand and we soften our knees, our feet are planted, our spine is elevated. There's a sense of spaciousness, but there's an emptiness. There's no holding. We hold just enough tension to be able to support ourselves. We're not relaxed, but the energy moves up us and through us. And it allows, from that space of emptiness, it allows energy to move through us easily and effectively. So we bring ourselves in this healing insight change process into Wu Chi, into that empty standing position, where we can become an observer, where we're not attached to what it is that we're observing or moving through. So in that place, energy can move freely and easily. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when we hold attachment to a belief that is not serving us, that belief will have been imprinted, laid down into the subconscious mind, which is almost like a computer system, our internal kind of innate computer system that organizes our life and our reality for us. So our life, our reality pretty much operates based on our belief systems. So when you're having or holding on to, you've almost subscribed to or downloaded this belief system that isn't working. It may be ancestral lines, and your family lines have held onto this belief for generations. We tend to create, our thoughts are in the same vibrational field as that belief, and we tend to create reality from the reality that we see and feel. So we have a particular lens for that, and it's hard to sometimes see outside of that lens, because this is our reality. But this is why so many of us have so many different experiences and different realities. So we can, when we come into a position of emptiness, allow ourselves to unhook from, to loosen from that old belief system, the attachment to that, and the energies that are associated with that. So, for example, if I have a belief that I am worthless, the vibrational, I kind of feel that coming in as I speak it, the vibrational energy associated with worthlessness is there, and our cellular structures kind of receive the hormones and neuropeptides that express as worthlessness. So it's a heavy, there's a sinking feeling, there's a contraction. This is the energy of it. So if we're choosing to move from feeling worthless to knowing that we are worthy, always have been, always will be worthy, we come into a space of setting our sights on the new frequency, new reality, new vibration, new belief system. And then we move through a process. We drop ourselves into this infinity harmonizing movement. I'm going to give you as much as I can because the time is now for us to shift. And if you want to deep dive into this method, you can buy the book. There's a short version of it in the card deck. And I have got an online program, which is only £144. And if you play with it, use it, it will transform your life. It is a gift. There's treasure in there. So the method uses this harmonizing movement. When we drop into this balance, this is a balancing and centered movement that we do over the lower energy center, over the lower dantian. It allows movement to flow. It allows energy to flow right through the whole body. And we're in emptiness. So as we're in emptiness and we bring in this movement, energy will start to move and flow. What we're also doing in the process is speaking in the new belief. I am and always have been worthy, be it of unconditional love or of success or whatever success is, or of abundance, true abundance, knowing who we are, the embodiment of who we are. So as you repeat those affirmations, this is one way that beliefs get laid down onto the system, is through repetition. We also do something that is about integrating both hemispheres of the brain. So we have, the hemispheres have been split, and there is a corpus callosum that sits between the two hemispheres, and this is how the hemispheres crosstalk. So if you've heard of being whole-brained, there are children's exercises for learning, just coming into whole brain experience activates all that we are. So the logic, the thinking, the rational, and also the spiritual, the sensing, the perceptive aspects of self, all of it. So we become whole. So we go through a process of activating through focusing on, you don't need to take this all in now. It's in the book. It's easier to learn it either through the book or through the online program. But I'm just going to speak it through so you get a sense of it. So we go through this activating of the right hemisphere followed by the left hemisphere. We would activate the right hemisphere through focusing on the right hand while repeating the belief until the right hemisphere of the brain activates. So you'll notice that through some kind of sensation, be it tingling, be it lightness, be it heaviness, be it heat. It will feel like it kind of comes online. So the reason we activate the right hemisphere with the right hand is because we are getting crosstalk. Then we do the same once it's activated. We do the same with the left hand, staying in emptiness and allowing. And you will, if you're sensitive, particularly, but most people that I've worked with, the large majority, in the 90%, feel the old energy starting to come up. And it can create resistance because you don't want to feel the feelings of unworthiness. This is good. It's just moving through. So just trust and have faith that you can be with your emotions and you can allow yourself that internal shift. You have to do the work. This is your liberation. It's your life. It's your reality. So this is your opportunity and your gift to yourself to be with all that you're holding anyway, and to allow it to come out of the shadows and move through and realign with something that's really going to support you and really going to help you to change your life going forwards. So we activate the hemispheres of the brain. You will find, if you dive into the method, that one hemisphere will want to activate first, and you can do that through simple muscle testing, be that the sway test, which is easy to do, really easy to do, or the finger lock test. So We activate one hemisphere of the brain, then we activate the other, then we come into whole brain coherence and we feel. We just allow the body to rebalance in alignment with, I have and always have been, always will be worthy of unconditional love. Let's stay with that one. We are loved more than we know. And if that doesn't feel part of your reality, then there's a belief for you to align with. Okay. And you can do this. You really can. Everyone can. So once you get a sense of alignment, you feel it. You feel the truth of the belief. And this is why affirmations are not as helpful as moving through a belief change. Of course, they're going to be helpful in redirecting your focus. But so many people can't work with affirmations because they'll say, but it doesn't resonate, but I don't believe it, but it's not true. So it may not be true in your current reality, but if you want to change your reality, and we as human beings have the ability to do that, then take the time, drop in, move yourself through a shift, and allow yourself to move into the positively polarized aspect of that stream of consciousness. So once you have done that, we visualize, we bring it in, we embody it, we feel it more, and we start creating images around what that looks like. So this is a really lovely way of noticing what you might look like now this new belief is in place. So if you're moving from example, unworthiness to worthiness, I'm worthy of unconditional love. Suddenly you might be able to see where previously you couldn't, that there's unconditional love flowing for you, that there's compassion, there's understanding, there's support, there's a connection, a connectivity with your team, your guides, with yourself, most important one. And so when you shift a belief and then you start to drop into that visualization process, you can start to sense and feel the realities shifting and changing, and it can really change things, and it does. The people, the stories that have messaged me, email me, or just experiences on courses where things have really happened, particularly working with the forgiveness protocol. There's a forgiveness protocol in here, and people have had direct experiences of their relationships with parents, friends, completely shifting and transforming, and people that they haven't spoken to in years, doing a belief change process, and literally them getting in touch the next day. That's happened so many times. So when we change ourselves, we change the outer reality. And this is just fact. This is true. This is part of how we're made up. It's an understanding of quantum science, and that we are part of the field, and we're working within the field, and we co-create. We're creating through the field. Limit Taggart's work shows a lot about that. There's a whole chapter in my book on the science of why and how this works. And so if you need to know that from a cognitive level, it's in the book as well. Some people stop at that chapter and it's too much of a deep dive. With some people it really resonates, and they just have that need to know to move it forward. So it's there if you want it. There is also, as part of the method, a manifestation process. I said I was going to talk about manifestation, and maybe the time is now to do that. So I'm going to backtrack and just let you know how I've used this for manifestation. Because when you subscribe or align completely through the manifestation process, takes you through a head, a heart, and a gut coherence process. So that, because your head can be thinking one thing, your heart can be sensing and feeling another. It's like 3 different intelligence systems within the body, and the gut. So the gut's largely concerned with our survival instincts, our gut sensing for what feels right, what feels wrong. It can also be quite fear-based. So it can be sensing for threat or danger. Our hearts are largely concerned with relationship, how we are perceived in the world, how we are in relationship with others and with the world. And our head is used to logic, but also within the head, if it's negatively polarized, we can have that monkey mind that goes, you can't, it's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. I've done so much belief change work. It was part of my healing from lupus. So I had incurable chronic lupus. And then I set about on a 5-year healing journey. But I unraveled so many beliefs. I did it through Psych K and theta healing. And I just went through a period of time where I was just clearing belief after belief after belief. So every time I had a limiting thought or a negative thought drop in, I would transform it, shift it, and realign with that. So my self-talk is actually pretty good. It's quite quiet. It doesn't mean I'm not sensitive to the energies around me. I still got my stuff, still part of the human experience. But my internal self-talk, my relationship with myself is pretty good. I'm pretty loving towards myself. And that's a beautiful space to be, because then my heart can be wide open and be in a loving space with the world around me, which is a lovely place to be in. So it's worth it. This self inner work is really worth it. And it makes you really aware of those things that just take us out of alignment. So Bashar has said, and other people have said that, when we are triggered by something, when we feel irked by something, we're perceiving through a distorted lens. So there's some belief system there that doesn't serve us. So yeah, joy to the day where the triggers are done. But it gets easier. I promise it gets easier. Manifestation. So manifestation helped me to create health and well-being. It helped me to believe change, aligning with positive thoughts, helped me to manifest a physical, healthy body. So I aligned with my body's perfect health. I aligned with so many beliefs. But just as an example, if you want to experience something, even though it's not reality now, change the program, subscribe to something new, and start focusing on that new program, and you'll experience it. So reality kind of catches up, and our bodies are amazing at healing. They know what they're doing if we give it the right conditions. I also manifest my publisher. So grateful for Fenton Press and Inner Traditions for publishing this. I've been really rubbish at promoting it because the time wasn't right, but apparently the time is now right. But now is the time, because these new frequencies are here. We're shifting and we're changing so rapidly. So now's the time to do this. So in order to get my publisher, I align myself with the belief, complete vibrational alignment. So left, right brain hemispheres fully aligned, activated, and then head, heart, and gut completely aligned. So all parts of my energy system were aligned with having a successfully published book. And a few days later, I saw the London Book Fair was on, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take my book proposal to the London Book Fair. And I knew in every inch of my body that was how I was going to get my book deal. And I rocked up at the London Book Fair and kind of went to the desk, and they were like, well, do you have an appointment? No. Do you have, a representative? No. And they were like, well, really sorry, but you needed to book ahead and da-da-da. So I'm like, okay. But that wasn't in my reality. It wasn't in my reality. So I wandered around and I just started to talk to people. And then I was kind of feeling my way towards this particular person. And she agreed to have 5 minutes with me. And I had to come back 2 hours later. And I did. And I had 5 minutes with this person, full of emotion. And it was what it was. I didn't present myself perfectly in any shape or form. she really liked it, and she said she'd get back to me, and I don't know if it's 24 or 48 hours, it was done. And so, and they also agreed, which Hay House had told me that you would never get a card deck published as an unknown. They also agreed to publish my card deck, and I got this published a year later. So all is possible. That's a really good belief to align with. All is possible in this universe of infinite potential. So when you align with that, all is possible. This becomes the reality. And this is where it gets really exciting. And I really hope you can sense and feel this, because it's possible for you too. You're no different. Your human setup and human design means that you can choose to move and shift your focus, your consciousness into a positively polarized, love-based reality and frequency. And yet you will move through some stuff, and yes, you'll have tears, and yes, you'll feel like you can't do it anymore, and yes, the resistance will show up. And if there's self-love, you can persevere. And if you need a practitioner, there are some on my website, or get in touch with me. I'm happy to move you through a process. So it is all possible. There is support. But if you can support yourself and you can commit to yourself, then, magic can unfold. So that is the healing insight method and that process. Manifestation, there's one more thing I need to share with you now about that, means bringing yourself into a pure vibrational alignment with that state. The method helps you do that. When you're in that pure vibrational alignment with that state, then use visualization. See it, imagine it, feel it, walk it, and hold. So, Esther, I'm really bad for names. That's a belief I need to change. Huh? Law of attraction. If we hold something for 68 seconds or more, then it is said to materialize in the reality. A few weeks ago, I was putting out a call with starting a global initiative to create heaven on Mother Earth. And there was a person that I needed help with in terms of experience. 24 hours, it literally was within 24 hours. I didn't do the belief change, but I'm fairly clear and I'm fairly focused on this creation of heaven on Mother Earth. Within 24 hours, she was at my door. And this is how the magic starts to unfold when you're operating in that flow state. So it's really exciting, but the seeing it, the visualizing it, the feeling it helps it. It's almost like you put it out there, and by that point of attraction, you draw it into you. So once you've got that visualization process, once you are in vibrational alignment, then when things drop in, take the inspired action. So when I noticed there was a London book fair, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I should be doing something with that. Then I took the inspired action, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have drawn it in. I wouldn't have called it in. So there are things that you need to do that feel good, that feel exciting. And there is a process of saying yes, even if you're outside of your comfort zone. If you want to create something new and something different, then we have to step just outside of our comfort zone. It's not feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It is allowing ourselves to experience something new and be curious about that. So I'm going to bring us back to center. To finish, I just wanted to say that we are now having a collective choice point moment. The energy coming through me is really strong, so it's a really important message. That collective choice point moment is going to be with us for some time now, while timelines are landing and shifting and moving. So now is the time for you to activate within you and align your will with the divine will and start to feel into your passion, your purpose. What is it that you want to create in your life? What is it that you want to draw toward you by shifting your internal environment, by shifting your internal state and the programs that are laid into the innate, laid into the subconscious mind. So yeah, do whatever it is that you need to do now to allow yourself to co-create your reality, because there are many timelines currently available to us, and what we focus on, we will create and will draw towards us. So the more of us, if you're hearing my message and it's speaking to you, then listen, honor yourself, honor your path and your purpose, and let your heart sing. My heart's going now. Let your heart sing, let your heart speak, let your heart lead and guide and support you into becoming the fullest version of you, the best possible version that you were here to be. This is not the being good and the oughts and the shoulds. That's over in the negatively polarized. We are to release the oughts and the shoulds. It's following the excitement, the divine passion, the authenticity, the depth. Don't be afraid of going deep. Don't be afraid of your emotions. They are just a guiding force. They're information. And when you expand, you can hold it. So rather than a contraction, allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to feel, and allow yourself to be part of this shift. The shift is happening within the collective. But if you want to, it's like surfing the waves or getting pulled along by them. So if you want to surf, take command, take your power back, choose liberation, choose to be sovereign in your own energy, in your own choices to create your own reality, the way in which you want and can achieve. So this is possible. This is a co-creation, but you're part of the whole. It is really important. So I know I've said this before, but if you imagine that rainbow, if you're red, if you're vibrating and shining as red, and that's your natural energy and your natural expression, then be red. Don't be orange, be red. If it's yellow, be yellow. Even if your partner is blue, let them be blue. You be yellow. And together we create the right light. Together we create the whole, and together we can step into and allow this amazing, beautiful, new, exciting space, which is heaven on Mother Earth, which is, the anchoring of unity consciousness here on Earth now. All right, I'm done. Over an hour. Thank you for listening. Please share to whoever you feel needs to hear this message. Like, subscribe, all the rest of it. It's time I get this out there because it is a gift. And the minimal investment, it's on Amazon. It's gone out in the States and in the UK, in Australia, in India. It's around, so you can get it on Amazon. I think it's all English speaking at the moment. And on my website, which is Nikki, Nikki, Gresham-Record, all one word, GRESHAMRECORD.co.uk. So there is a online course there that you can purchase and watch in your own time, series of videos that walks you through all of the bits, including the muscle testing, how you can use this, how you can work with a particular life issue. I'm going to give you a snippet example, very small one. If you have a relationship issue with somebody and that's challenging, then you can muscle test, is the belief that I need to align with in the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus? Yes, it's in the solar plexus. So you move to this beautiful part of the book that has the solar plexus beliefs. And then you muscle test, is it in authentic power? If you get a no, move on. Is it in courage? If you get a no, move on. Is it in individuation? If you get a yes, you stay. And then it may be beliefs 1, 2, 3, or 4, or any combination of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you'll test positive to 1, not for 2, positive for 3, not for 4, for example. And then you work through those beliefs. So you read them out in one long string, activate the right hemisphere, left hemisphere, whole brain awareness, bring it in, visualize it, ground it. and lets you down in vibrational alignment, and you will feel a shift in your issue with that relationship. You might have to work through a few different beliefs, which is fine. But if you want to change your reality, change your experiences, this is a how. All right, my loves, take care for now. If there's any questions, message below. And yeah, lots of love for now.